I would encourage you to keep reading, and not just so you can tell other people that you read and you have an education, but so that you can have context for your childhood traumas and you stop extrapolating your elementary school experiences to your big grown life today.
What is good, people, and welcome on another episode. If you are joining for the very first time, thank you so much for being here today. This trend on TikTok started as a very interesting one. It's not going well at all right now because after every two slides on my For You page on TikTok, it's literally a black person addressing the same trend. This trend started and people are just going to do like two slides. On the very first slide, it will be like things I'm afraid to admit as a girl, things I'm afraid to admit as a student. So the particular one that has been going viral that is literally causing a whole division of conversation in the Black community right now is things I am afraid to admit as a Black person. And there are so many people talking about how they are so afraid, like as a sophisticated Black person themselves, they are so afraid of Black ghetto people. This conversation went through the roof and is not in any way going well at all. I can assure you that it's getting so many people pissed. There are some people like saying it is okay for people to say they do not like or want to F with the ghetto Black people. There are some people even talking about how are you even calling them ghetto? Like it's such a whitewash mentality. Is this still the conversation that we are having in this community in 2024? Like we need to do better. And there are some people saying, let people admit their truth. Let them say what they want to say because it's the truth. And we have been afraid to admit this for the longest. It is a whole long conversation that I had to divide the stitches into two. One is going to be posted here, and the other is going to be posted on the backup page that I will put the link in the description. So without wasting much time, let's just get right into the part one of the sophisticated Black people talking about how they are so afraid of ghetto Black people.
The outrage over that trend where it's like, as a black person, I feel scared to admit it's crazy because y'all get mad at folks because they say that they scared of hood people or they scared of ghetto people. But let's be honest, if you at a house party, you see somebody walk in and you don't get the hell up out of there, you're stupid. Oh, look at me, I'm progressive. I don't care if I get shut up.
Oh, it's time to admit, huh? That a lot of y'all see your own people through the eyes of them folks. That's the reason why you got all these surface level critiques about hood ghetto people. You see what I'm saying? Whenever you want to put on a little black costume, though, and show your white friends how hood and how smooth and cool you is, you will literally take on black hood aesthetics and take them on a costume. You see what I'm saying? See, a couple of years ago, you was always already policing different types of blackness that you didn't find palatable. But now in this new age of social media, a lot of folks is putting it on thick and you want to act like you from the hood or act like you ghetto, but you scared of us? A lot of the dance trends, a lot of the slang, a lot of the fashion trends come from the hood. Y'all ain't got no issue with taking them on as the entirety of black culture. But as soon as somebody do something you don't like, oh, that's ghetto. And what things that really don't sit right with me is that I know that them folks can see anybody as being ghetto or anybody as being hood, whether you have proximity to the community or not. And that's the thing that is so kind of weird about all this discourse about hood black people.
The CIA and Logic came together to create this, as a black person, I'm scared to admit trend, to cause division and discourse amongst us. Why? Because they want to change February from Black History Month to Quadroon History Month and take away everything that it means to be black. So don't let them do this. Keep up with the agenda.
The thing about the I'm black and I'm scared to say whatever trend is that there's a reason why they're scared. Because they know if they say these things, they're going to be met with judgment and people going to discredit how they feel. And I mean, if you look at TikTok, people calling them anti-black, people saying they Klansmen, and it's like, that's not really the case. Now, I will say this, the wording on them shits, I did not like the wording on them shits. It's like, you making it seem like hood people like just dumb, ignorant people. But I'm not going to sit up here and get caught up on the wording without actually addressing the argument. If we gonna keep it real, bro, it's a lot of shit that's wrong with the black community right now, and we need to have these conversations. And it's like, I feel like some people feel hit about what they said. I mean, they was talking about me and some of the shit, so I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, these are the conversations that we have to have. And I've been seeing some people that don't like this trend respond to it, and it's like, y'all acting just like our parents used to act, invalidating people's feelings, attacking people because you felt hit instead of asking them why they feel that way. Some of these points I feel like is dumb. Some of these points don't make sense to me, but I can't sit up here and invalidate somebody else's feelings because that's their experience. And I feel like instead of attacking them, we need to ask them why they actually feel this way. Because honestly and truly, if we don't have these conversations and shit keep going like it's going, our race is cooked.
To say that making a video to a trend stating you are afraid of hood black people is starting a conversation in the black community is disingenuous. No, but we have to see both sides of the argument because I understand why they're saying that. And you guys are just so focused on the language that you can't see past what they actually mean. If the language you use isn't what you actually mean, then you're wrong. Period, point blank. You said you're afraid of hood people. That means, i.e., people from the hood. You didn't say you're afraid of criminals, which is what you actually meant. Oh, they meant they're only afraid of the crash outs. Then say I'm afraid of crash outs. I'm pretty sure most people are afraid of people who are emotionally unstable. And that could be someone of any race, gender, or class. Y'all stay grouping low-income people together because you've never experienced that life, or you have experienced that life and have a holier-than-thou perspective because you made it out. But no, it started a conversation about the violence within our communities. How do we stop this? We know how to stop it. The people who have actually been having these conversations in a genuine manner, we have figured it out. Third spaces for low-income children that don't cost to get in, inexpensive childcare for low-income families, well-funded schools with well-funded after-school programs, and job security for black people in general. Boom, solved. Next! And what blows me, what really pisses me off is y'all are the same people that let white people come on this app and commodify the hood culture that you're so afraid of. Oh my god, Becky knows all the words to this NBA Youngboy song, Green Dots, and she's doing a money spread with the shiesty one. She's so cool. But I'm afraid of hood people. You are prejudiced towards low-income black people. And actually, I saw a comment where someone said, no, we're afraid of the black people who stand around gas stations wearing hoodies. I wonder who else has that same logic. I wonder who else sees black people in hoodies and goes, that's a dangerous person. I wonder how many lives have been taken because a black man in a hoodie was seen as someone who was dangerous. And I wonder how y'all don't see that you're playing into the exact rhetoric that is used against you. And not only do you not realize that you are using the exact rhetoric that is used to be prejudiced against all black people, you post a video about how you're scared of the hood black people as a black person, and watch how white people flock to your comments feeling comfortable in their hatred. Because, oh, a person from the community agrees, so I should be able to agree, no? What I'm doing isn't wrong, thank God. You're all afraid of them. See what you've done? Well, sit in the corner and think about what you've done and get the fuck out of my face.
I saw that trend on TikTok, black people saying they was afraid to admit they scared of hood people. And I think that conversation is dumb as hell. I think you need to be real specific on who you calling hood and what hood actually is. And what you're really talking about is you're talking about niggas that be crashing out. I also think if people got something to say, some of the times y'all need to keep that shit to yourselves. This is just like the conversation with black men or black women be like, well, we ain't dating black men or we ain't dating black women. Nigga, keep it to yourself. Don't nobody care. And you ain't gonna never get me to say that how we act is ghetto just because we outside, we being loud, we got loud music, we outside dancing, or we doing car takeovers, or how niggas dress, or niggas got their hood day and they outside barbecue and they celebrating, or how the girls dress with the big gold earrings and the gold teeth and all the gold necklaces. Nigga, that's culture, nigga. And I never turn my back on that type of shit. And everybody from the hood ain't a criminal or dangerous. I know people from the hood that go to UCLA, USC, and LA Film School. And what makes me mad about this conversation is because y'all just perpetuating what the white people say is that how we dress or how we may act, we already perceived as dangerous. And that's how a lot of us get unlocked by the police. All I ask, if y'all gonna have this conversation, be very specific on what you're talking about that scares you. Because how you wording it right now, you're gonna make a lot of people upset.
If you are black and you are afraid of ghetto people, you are whitewashed.
That must be the dumbest take in this whole conversation. I thought as a collective group, we agreed that black people are not a monolith, and that you can exist as a black person and not associate yourself with hood culture, or need to be familiar or comfortable with ghetto. So to sit there and tell people that if you do not like hood activities, then you must be anti-black, then you're saying that hood activities and being ghetto is a black attribute or characteristic. And this type of mindset is exactly why black people in the diaspora have such a division amongst each other, and why there are so much conversations of people wanting to disassociate themselves. Because apparently, if you do not associate, you do not like, and you're not comfortable with hood activities, hood culture, or whatever it is, you are anti-black and not black enough. You must accept it, you must tolerate it, and hood activities is black people stuff, apparently. The second we stop associating all black people and blackness with hood culture, the better we will be as a whole.
Start this by saying I am still on the journey of unlearning the anti-blackness of my youth. I think that will be a lifelong fight. I don't feel like I've arrived at a destination, But I do feel like, as someone who has been on this journey for a while, it would be helpful for me to share some of what I've learned to save some of you some time. And I feel like it is my penance for when I was an annoying little shit to provide this to you as current annoying little shits. And let's not waste any more time. You are not afraid of Black people from the hood. That's not what you're afraid of. What you are afraid of is being treated and thought about the way you treat and think about Black people from the hood. You're afraid of yourself. The call is coming from inside the house. You have fully internalized a white supremacist narrative about human value, and the power to discard frightens you because it reminds you that you can also be discarded. You're afraid that all of the hard work and things that brought you to where you are is not enough to actually distinguish you from the hood rats you're afraid of. Your whole sense of self and your dreams or aspirations are quite literally propped up on the hood. The problem is you don't know who you are without the hood, which is why you've taken your identity crisis and made it their problem. You believe the hood is a rightful and deserved punishment for Black people who have failed morally, socially, or financially. It's the existential threat that's been held over your head as a reminder that this is what the society can do to you if you do not work, perform, or fully assume capitalism as part of your very identity itself. And the clearest example that you are not afraid of Black people from the hood is that that's the only group of people you're willing to talk to and about as disrespectfully as you do. What do you say at work when Brenda talks wild to you? What do you say? Is it something like, "I'll get those to you end of day"? You want to rip her head off, but you've got all the time and sweetness in the world. That's not who you're afraid of. You're afraid of Brenda at the office. And what you're really afraid of is all of the self sacrifice and self compromise that you have made to be who you are. And you're afraid of being around people who can clock that. So I just feel like it's my responsibility as somebody who's an annoying little shit to just maybe help with some of this. I would encourage you to keep reading, and not just so you can tell other people that you read and you have an education, but so that you can have context for your childhood traumas and you stop extrapolating your elementary school experiences to your big grown life today. Okay? I'm trying to do my part, and also I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry. I see now what I looked like, and I'm so sorry.
Y'all get mad at folks because they say that they scared of hood people, or they scared of ghetto people. But let's be honest, if you at a house party, you see somebody walk in.
Is that why we're upset? Is that why there's backlash? Is that why there's outrage? Or is it because y'all are being fucking ridiculous? I'm gonna keep asking people, what y'all gain from telling us shit like this? What will the answer be? What will the answer be? Because if y'all fear these ghetto, ratchet, hood, black rapscallions, right? If y'all fear them the way that you say you do, whose fucking house party are you at for someone like that to be walking in? If y'all fear them the way that y'all claim that y'all fear them, you like what? You're telling me that Black people are coming up to suburbia, mask on, hoodie up, to air out your party. Why do y'all fantasize about getting popped? No one's telling y'all not to keep your head on the swivel. Everyone has to keep their head on the swivel. This is life. But it's like, bro, if a do-rag, a hoodie, a bonnet, the sight of a Black person is what's setting you over the edge. That's where our issue is.
And you don't get the hell up out of there, you're stupid.
Now, while I can understand or at least make sense of where this man was coming from, what I think he failed to realize was that what he said and did was literally the entire issue. He was talking about how Black people shouldn't judge other Black people for not wanting to be around or even being afraid of ghetto or hood Black people. What he then proceeded to do was create an example for what he thought a ghetto or a hood Black person looked like, and to say, if a person looks like this, you should be afraid. Now, the problem with that was when he played the character of what he thought a ghetto or a hood person looked like, all he did was dress up and look like a person who was suspicious, a potential criminal, somebody who might cause some harm to you. That right there is the entire problem. Not everybody, but a lot of people who are sharing this talking point are conflating being hood or ghetto with being a criminal. That's why there's a lot of outrage against this talking point, because it does sound like a white supremacist talking point. Oh, if you hood or ghetto, you must be a criminal. Now, here's the thing, bro. I would never tell you not to be afraid or feel threatened by somebody who walks up in a party with their hand in their pants or in their pockets looking like they got some kind of weapon with a hood over their head and looking down, peering around like they finna act like they dangerous. You should be afraid. I would be afraid of that. I mean, let's just keep it a bean. But what I'm never going to tell you to do is align that image of a threatening individual with somebody that's hood or ghetto. Those are two completely different things. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what ethnicity you are. I don't care what nation you from. I don't care what city, state, region you from across this globe. Anybody can appear threatening if you have that type of look on you. Once you've made being hood or being ghetto synonymous with being a criminal or being a threat, that's when I can safely say, all right, we from two completely different ends of the planet, and maybe we don't have much to, converse about. We don't have a whole lot in common. Because you think one thing about certain people, and I think one thing about them certain people. I love them certain people. You think they dangerous. So maybe we just don't need to really cross paths.
What do you guys think about what they all said? This conversation is a very, very long one. And please, if you have one or two insights or something to actually say and explain your own point of view as well, please drop it in the comment section. This is one of those videos or those conversations that are sparked in the Black community that I can say that so many people are going hard on this conversation. There are people who are madly pissed at those saying they do not like people from the hood. There are people using this opportunity to educate as well, because from the stitches that I've watched, I've been able to learn so much. I don't even think that putting this video in 2 parts is going to I'm going to be able to bring all those stitches together, because it's a lot, you guys. It is a lot. But let's say you want to explain to someone, let's say you want to explain to a 7-year-old child why you think that saying that you don't like people from the hood is annoying. Please explain it in the comment section. And if you are as well okay with the fact that it's okay for people to say they don't like Black people from the hood, and them saying it doesn't mean they are racist as well. If that is the side you're standing on, please explain why in the comment section, because I really want to hear what you guys think about all of this. Another point that I was able to pick from those stitches was the man who talked about how they are coming for the people who say they don't like Black people from the hood, but have you actually tried to ask them why they are scared of Black people from the hood? Like, if they say they are scared of Black people from the hood, there's something that they are scared about, and that is the part that we should focus on. I think that is another point that people are as well talking about. People who do not agree are talking about how this is a whitewashed mentality. You are just whitewashed if you say you do not like Black people, because this is the same way that white people view Black people, and that is the same thing that these people are doing. Let me know your take on this particular conversation. There's going to be part 2, interesting take on this topic. So make sure that you're subscribed to the backup channel. Make sure you're following as well. I'll put the link in the description, and you can go there to watch the part 2. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the second part.